There is a specific kind of tired that sleep doesn't fix. You know the one. You go to bed completely exhausted and you wake up completely exhausted. And somewhere in between, you had dreams about being at work or being late or being behind because even unconscious, your nervous system didn't get the memo that you were supposed to be resting. So you drink the coffee, you push through, you tell yourself you just need to get through this week, through this project, through this season, and then you'll rest. And then that week ends and there's another one and another one. And the all rest win keeps moving like a finish line on a treadmill that someone just forgot to turn off. That is not a productivity problem. That is not a time management problem. That is a your body sending you a message in the only language it has left after you've ignored everything else it tried. And the message is we are not okay. We have not been okay for a while. And if you don't stop voluntarily, I will stop you involuntarily. Listen, bitch, burnout is not weakness. Burnout is what happens when a person with a real calling, real passion, and a nervous system that was never designed for the pace that modern culture demands keeps running post every red light their body put up until what happens? The car just stops in the middle of the road. And that's what I want to talk about today, how you got here. The price, like what it's costing you, and what recovery looks like when you are someone who just doesn't know how to stop. Welcome back to the Listen Bitch podcast. This is episode 19 of the Rebellion season. That is season 10. And this one is, I feel like they're all personal, but this one is personal, not just for you, but for me, because I've sat in the exact seat that we're talking about today. I've been the person who confused depletion with dedication, who wore that exhaustion like a badge, who kept telling myself that the calling justified the cost. I was all about the hustle culture, right up until the cost came due in a way that I couldn't ignore anymore. You guys, I want to make it clear your mess is your message, and burnout has been one of mine. So today I'm not just talking about this from, research and Google frameworks. I'm talking about it from the inside because honestly, that's where most of my shit comes from anyway. And if you're new here, I am Brandon Lynette, podcast coach. And if you have been running on empty, calling it hustle, wondering why you feel nothing, even when good things happen, this episode is for you. And it is also, this show today is brought to you by my favorite vibrotactile tech. Okay. This is an ingredient free patch. The pain patch, they have several for a lot of different things in your body, but the pain patch has become a non-negotiable in our house. My husband has dealt with debilitating back pain for years, years of trying everything, years of managing it, years of limiting what he could do and how much he could show up. The pain patch changed that for him. And it is no ingredients to second guess, okay? No chemicals to add to a body that's already overwhelmed. It's just relief that actually works. And those of you that need to show up with focus and calm, that is my secret weapon as a podcaster, okay, as the podcaster, I should say, 4 shows, 600 episodes, and now I'm helping other people launch their shows. I do have a secret weapon, okay? Whether you guys need this secret weapon for a recording session, a hard conversation, or just a Tuesday that's asking too much of you, I have this incredible patch, okay, this Zen patch that is exactly that. It is focus without jitters because again, it's 0 ingredients. It's vibrotactile. It's like Braille for the brain. I know that's hard for a lot of people to understand, but I'm happy to show you the proof. Like, let's meet somewhere. I will show you. I have a patch that, if you have elderly people that are losing balance, I have a Liberty patch and it works immediate, as a few of them do. But this is it. This my secret weapon. It's how I get present before I need to perform. It's how I don't get nervous. It's how I don't throw up every time I hit record. But I have the link in the show notes. Okay, so please go check it out. And I think that Zen patch is going to help you if burnout is an issue. I can't say that it's exactly what has helped me regulate my nervous system, but I don't go very many days without it. It is my peace. It is the big thing that I can use in real world time that keeps anxiety and nerves at bay. But okay, bitches, let's get into this today. You could check the show notes to get resource, but like your body is not your enemy. It is your earliest and most honest advisor, and it's been trying to talk to you for a very long time. Before burnout arrives fully formed, it does send scouts, okay? It's going to send fatigue and not the good tired that comes after a productive day, but the flat, like heavy tired that doesn't lift. And you ignore it, and then it's going to send irritability. That's the short fuse, the zero tolerance for things that normally wouldn't bother you, the snapping at people you love over nothing and then feeling terrible about it. You push through, then it sends that disconnection. And this is going to be that numbness, the going through the motions, the inability to feel excited about things that used to light you up. You rationalize it, then it sends the physical stuff, the headaches, gut issues. That's a huge one. And then the immune system waving the white flag, the body literally breaking down the non essential systems to keep the essential ones running. That's what's happening. And finally, when you've ignored every single messenger it sent, it sends burnout itself. Full stop, game over, cars broke down in the middle of the road. Imagine your energy is a phone battery. Every demand on your time, every demand on your attention and nervous system, it drains the battery. Sleep, food, rest, joy, connection, play, those are the chargers. Okay. So imagine you've been running your phone at full brightness with every app open, location services on, background refresh running constantly, and you've been charging it for 20 minutes a night. And I know you know what I mean with that background refresh, okay? For my neurospicy brains, you know us bitches have like background running 24/7. It doesn't turn off, but we can control it, okay? The phone is not going to perform well. At some point, it's not going to perform at all. It will just shut off mid sentence, mid phone call, mid the most inconvenient moment possible. That's burnout. And the solution is not a better productivity system. The solution is to close some fucking apps and dim the screen and then actually charge the thing without touching it. Okay? And this is what keeps people in the burnout cycle for years and years. Rest feels like you're falling behind. And that feeling is not accidental, it's manufactured. It's that hustle culture spent decades building a value system where your worth is measured by your output and your rest is justified only to the productivity it enables. Rest to recover so you can work more. Sleep to perform better. Vacation to come back refreshed and more useful. Even the recovery is instrumentalized. It's just never just for you. It's always in service of the big machine. And that's why we're in the rebellion. And the really insidious part is that this got spiritualized. The Protestant work ethic wired a whole theology around labor as virtue and rest as laziness. Idle hands are the devil's workshop. 6 days you shall work. And somewhere in the transition, people heard rest is sus. Is that the new word? Can I use that on my show? I know I'm too old, right? I'm almost 50. It's suspicious, okay? It's sus. Rest is for people who aren't serious. Rest is what you do when you've earned it, and you haven't earned that yet, right? So you keep going, they keep going, and it's called faithfulness, and it's called responsibility, and it's called being a good provider or a good parent or a good leader. And guess what? The whole time the body is sending the scouts, bitch, okay? And then you keep ignoring them because stopping feels like the most irresponsible thing you could possibly do. And this is what I want to tell you because there was a season in my life where I was doing everything right on paper, exhausting myself, building the thing, showing up, putting in the hours, staying committed. And on the outside, it looked like momentum. But on the inside, it felt like I was running through wet concrete. Everything took more effort than it should. And the things I love started feeling like obligations. I stopped laughing as much. I stopped being present with my family. I was physically in the room and completely somewhere else. And the moment that broke through, the moment I couldn't rationalize past was, when my kid did something genuinely funny, something that any normal day would have had me doubled over. Like that's our biggest thing. We are laughing all the time. And I just smiled like politely, like a stranger, just staring past her, through her. And I watched my own face do that. And I thought something is definitely wrong. Like, not with the situation, but with me. I had been running myself so far past empty that I couldn't even access that joy anymore. And that's the moment I finally stopped arguing with the scouts in my own body and I really started listening. And for that neurospicy brain, okay, burnout has this, and it's got this additional layer that I don't think it's addressed enough. And it's real. It's a documented, distinct experience if your brain is off the charts. And a lot of people look it 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 looks different from what the mainstream conversation describes, okay? It's not always a dramatic collapse. Like sometimes it's a slow creeping withdrawal, and the things that used to be manageable stop being manageable. The masking that used to be automatic requires a conscious effort. That executive function that was already working harder than most, it just stops showing up entirely. And because it comes on gradually and looks like, you're just having a hard time, it gets missed both by the people around you and by you. And this is going to show up like when you're doing work that you used to love and you feel nothing. When the passion that, started the thing has been completely replaced by the obligation and you can't remember the last time you did it because you wanted to versus because you have to. It shows up in your relationships as emotional unavailability. And it's not because you don't care, but because you've used every available resource on everything else, and there's genuinely nothing left by the time you get to the people that matter the most. Like you're present in your body and absent in everything that counts. And the people you love feel it, even if they can't name it. Okay. And kids, especially kids, always, always know. It shows up in the inability to make decisions. And this one is definitely underrated because when your prefrontal cortex is running on fumes, even small decisions feel overwhelming. What do you want for dinner becomes an existential crisis. Which email to answer first produces genuine paralysis. And then you feel stupid for struggling with things that seem so simple, not realizing that your brain is rationing cognitive resources the way a city would ration water during a drought. There's not enough to go around, and it's shutting down the non emergency systems first, okay? It's going to show up in your calling specifically as the thing that was supposed to be the point, becoming the thing that feels like the heaviest burden. The podcast that was supposed to be your voice starts feeling like a production quota. The business that was supposed to be your freedom starts feeling like a second cage. The ministry that was supposed to flow from overflow starts flowing from a place so depleted there's nothing real behind it anymore. No one is seeing the light of Jesus in your eyes because there isn't any anymore. It's been squandered. You're in survival mode. You start to wonder if you were wrong about the calling, when the truth is you were right about the calling and wrong about the pace. You guys, even God rested on the seventh day. That is not a throwaway detail in the chapter of Genesis. This is a design specification built into the fabric of creation itself. Rest is not the reward for finishing the work. Rest is part of the work. It is built into the rhythm that God established from the very beginning. And it's not because it was tired, but because he was modeling something essential for the creatures that he made in his image. The Sabbath was not a suggestion. It's a commandment. And in a culture that has completely dismantled it, that treats, their Saturday or Sunday like a head start on Monday, that can't sit still for 10 minutes without reaching for a screen. That has confused business with blessing. Recovering the practice of genuine rest is one of the most countercultural, rebellious, God honoring things you could do right now. Your calling needs a healthy body to move through. Your message needs a present, regulated nervous system to deliver it. Your legacy needs a person who is actually alive, not just functional, but not just, not even just surviving, not just pushing through to build it. And you cannot pour from an empty cup. You can't do it. You can't lead from depletion. You cannot give what you don't have, not sustainably, not in a way that's going to last, and definitely not in a way that actually serves the people you were put here to serve. And recovery is not quitting. Recovery is the responsible stewardship of the instrument that God gave you to do the work he called you to do. Your body is not a tool to be used up in service of the mission. Your body is part of the mission, and you have to start treating it like it is. So the first step is that you have to do the honest audit, not the productivity audit, the energy audit. For 1 week, I want you to notice what fills you and what drains you. Not what should. I don't want you to think, well, this should make me happy. This should fill my cup. I'm saying what actually does. Some things that are supposed to be life-giving are currently draining because you've been doing them from depletion. So long that you've been told, they've lost their charge. And you're being told that some things are indulgent and they're actually genuinely restorative for your specific nervous system, right? You have to collect your own data. It's not going to be the same as someone else's. So stop running someone else's recovery protocol. And then you need to identify 100 things. No, bitch, not 100 things, okay? You know what I'm going to say? The one thing. Not 10, not 50. I'm saying identify the one thing you've been telling yourself you'll rest after. The finish line that keeps moving. I want you to say it out loud and then ask yourself honestly, if I cross that line and there's another one behind it, which there will be, there always is. What is the plan? Because the plan cannot be rest after forever. The plan has to include the rest now, not a vacation, not a spa day, a sustainable, non negotiable rhythm of actual recovery built into the regular week. And for my neurospicy brain specifically, stop treating stimulation as rest. Scrolling is not rest. Netflix is not rest. These are input reduction strategies, not nervous system recovery. Your brain needs actual downtime. No input, no demands, no performance. What that looks like is different for everyone. For some people, it's a walk without the headphones. For some, it's sitting in the sun for 15 minutes. For some people, it's the specific silence of a room with no notifications and nothing expected of them. Find your version and protect it. Put it in the calendar before anything else gets scheduled, because if it's not in the calendar first, you know you're never going to put it in there at all. You did not build this calling to burn it to the ground before it reaches the people it was meant for. You did not survive what you survived, learn what you learned, or carry what you carried to run yourself into the ground 3 yards from the end zone. Rest is not the enemy of this rebellion. Rest is what makes the rebellion sustainable. It's what makes you someone who can actually go the distance instead of burning bright and burning out. Jesus said, "Come to me, all who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest." That is not a metaphor for heaven. That is an invitation for Tuesday. Please take it. If you're digging this episode, please like the show, subscribe, leave a written review. It takes less than 2 minutes, and it gets us in the hands of the person running on empty right now who needs to hear this. Head to brandonlynette.com, get on the list, watch the full episode of the show on YouTube, because I feel like seeing it just is different than hearing it. And do not forget your pain patch, okay? And that's going to be Freedom is the pain patch, and your Zen patch from my link below, okay? Again, 0 ingredients. It's like Braille for your brain. It's just telling your brain as a reminder what to do in your body, okay? Real relief, no chemicals, no ingredients. It is safe for everybody. No compromise. And for the body that's been carrying too much, you deserve this actual support, okay? And if you're ready to stop running on empty and start building something that actually lasts, please check the show notes to work with me. Tell me your story. Tell me why you're the one who needs to be heard. I want to know what makes you special, okay? Stop, breathe, charge the phone. And not the phone, I'm talking about your body. All right. Love you, bitches.